I get to the door and I pull on it and the hand hits my shoulder. And I'm like, who's touching me? I don't know anybody in here. And I turn around and it says priest. And he says, hello, John. I'd never told that man my name. I'd never even spoken to him before. And he said, I don't know where your family is and why they're not here with you, but God wants me to tell you that everything's going to be all right. I said, what did you say? And he goes, it's good to see you, John. I hope to see you again. And he turns around and he just walked into this crowd and disappeared. I got in the car and I thought, what was that? And I thought, well, I guess you're going to give me a chance. So Monday morning, my dad drove me to Memphis. I went to court. I pled guilty. There was a Catholic judge that put me on a diversion program, gave me a chance to change my life in that way. I had to go to work, and I'm telling them, they flew in everybody, the CEO, the CFO, the HR people. My dad was a high up, and they all respected him, and I was their number one salesman. So they're sitting there asking me all these questions, and I get up in the middle of it, and I said, I got to go. And they said, what do you mean? You could lose your job, John. I said, I've made you a lot of money. I've made a lot of money. My family, I haven't talked to my wife since Friday. It's Monday. I don't know what's happening in my life. I can get another job. I can't get another family. And so I got up and I walked out and I took myself to rehab. I walked into this place that I used to see commercials for during the Three Stooges breaks when I was a kid. And I thought, I'll never be there. And then here I show up, on the door right that day. Here I am. And so my dad takes me in, and man, the people that were bringing in there, one was worse than the next. Families were throwing them in there and take them. This is the 12th time I'm done with them. They took all the money out of my account. They stole my car. They set the house on fire. Guys were coming in just in terrible shape. And I picked up this newspaper just to block my vision. I wasn't even reading it. And all of a sudden, the door, they just kept coming over my right shoulder. Well, the door opened one time, and nobody walked by, and I looked up, and it was my wife. I didn't even know how she knew I was there, but I guess she had talked to my father. And she was standing there, and I said, Angela, what are you doing here? And she goes, John, I'm mad as hell at you, but I can't let you go through this alone. And so she went through it with me, and I go outside to feeling bad that my dad's going to have to drive me to 30-day outpatient, 2 hours one way for the next 30 days. And I can't find him. And Angela said, I'm not going to make him do that. You're coming home. But don't get this messed up. We're not okay. I'm not sleeping in the bed with you. But one of my 3-year-old twins, Allison, had asked if I was dead because it was the longest they'd ever not seen me. So I go home, and Angela takes me home, and the kids are in there, and we had WrestleMania for like 8 hours until Angela took them away from me. I wouldn't let go of them. I was crying. They kept, Dad, what's wrong? And I just was so happy, and I saw how much I'd missed in my life.